Coming up on Relatables.
You know what's the biggest insult ever is when you're getting takeout and you're comfortable with them knowing it's on your own, but they give you 2 forks without asking because they think it's for 2 people.
Yeah.
They're like, you fat fuck.
You call me fat.
Oh my God. This is for tomorrow's lunch as well, all right? Fuck you.
My GYG order is always 2 forks.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jake and Artie, the Relatables party. Relatables.
The Relatables podcast is hosted by myself, Jake Craig, a.k.a.
Not Tamlin.
and my clearly
Amazing.
dishonorable co-host in crime,
Sexy.
Ottie, a.k.a. Mummy Clark.
Look at my forearms.
Have you been tanning?
Nah, they're good, bud.
Have you been?
I've been doing some...
What do you mean? Have you actually been doing forearm workouts?
No.
Oh.
So they do look good. They do look good, mate. Yeah.
That's not what I was saying. I was just wondering because the progress isn't showing. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you were looking me up and down like Freya.
Feyre.
I know. I read it like that. So
Do you read it like Freya? Just like kind of comes out in your head like that?
Yeah.
Damn. We won't. Book clubs later, guys.
Yeah, book clubs later.
Book clubs a little bit later.
We're teasing you.
But I don't know anybody on YouTube, and if you watch it on Spotify.
Yeah.
I got a new jumper, guys.
Where did you get that, dude? Where did you get that? Sick.
If you're part of the Facebook group, Relatables Baddies Unite, plug. Maybe it's linked in the description. Definitely linked in Facebook, or I mean in Instagram. You know that I was at Gracie Abrams on the weekend, and I had a bow in my hair because you're supposed to wear a bow. Apparently, everyone wears a bow.
You know,
there was a bunch.
You know what that reminded me of when you did it? You know how like when your dog comes back from the groomer,
And they always do.
they put a bow in your hair, and I saw it with you, and I was like, that reminded me of that.
They do, yeah. So I had a bow in my hair, and I went and bought this merch. This is actually quite like it. It was $110.
Simple.
Though. Very simple.
Yeah.
But it says on the front, felt good about you, and then on the back it says till I didn't.
I saw some videos and it looked good.
Oi.
You were standing, weren't you?
Yeah, we got general admission standing. And so Kudos Bank Arena is actually, it's big.
Feels small, but
But crazy good for a concert.
is that where we saw the basketball? Yeah.
Yeah, so we couple things. We got there. I wouldn't normally want to get there to see a opening act, but and I love Gracie. My Spotify Wrapped last year proved that. But Beth loves her more.
Yeah.
And so does her best friend Casey, who we went with, and my sister Joanna was also there. And so they wanted to get there and watch the full first act, and just so we could get a pretty decent spot to try and be close to Gracie.
Who was it?
Her name was Ash. You may have heard one of her songs. She has a couple really big ones. She sang a fair few that I didn't know. She did a cover of a cool song, and then I do know 2 of her songs. But she was actually for a no hate to Coldplay and no hate to the opening act Coldplay had, but the choice of Ash being Gracie's opener was crazy good.
Way more fitting.
It was just so...
The thing Coldplay do is they try and support like local artists. Like,
which is good.
but they suck.
Which is good, but they just no one knows who they are.
Yeah.
And also where Coldplay was playing though was like a 70,000 capacity, and Kudos Bank and the hype around Gracie meant that the opening act basically had every single person there, so it felt really good.
Well, it's like a dome. It feels better.
Yeah. And it's got a ceiling over it, so
yeah.
and it's just way better for sound.
Yeah.
But so we went, and she was really, really good. Initially, as soon as she came out, I was like, I don't know about this, but she was a great singer. But she just ended up having like the sickest crowd control I've ever seen.
Really?
And she like mid-song would like talk to someone in the front row, talk to people, be like, I see you back there with like lights on or whatever. And everyone was just like, woo, woo. And she even halfway through goes, so I have 2 jobs tonight. One of them is to warm everyone up for the lovely and beautiful Gracie Abrams, right? And everyone cheers, woo, woo, woo. And then the second one, and you can tell she times it perfectly because no one really knows the first few songs. She must have had half an hour or whatever on stage. And then she goes, and my second job is for you to also get you to fall in love with me tonight. And she admits going, I know not every one of you knows who I am.
Yeah.
And then the second half of her like short opening set, she sings just these bangers. And by the end of it, I was like, she could do the whole concert and I'd thrilled.
Did a good job.
Fuck, she did. And I've never seen an opener like
Gotta
that.
say, an opener is one of the hardest gigs.
Yeah, even Noah Khan's open up. He was good, but didn't get me like that.
The best I'd seen is when I saw Lumineers' Hollow Coves.
Okay.
You'd know a few of their songs played before it, and I was like, "Whew, shit, that's talent."
Wow. Okay. See, this is what I thought about this girl. She can sing as well. She looks like Margot Robbie.
Really? Probably helped.
Yeah. She looks like Margot Robbie. She could sing. And so then she, I want to talk about one thing. Flex. Okay. We get there early to go to the opener. We bought merch outside. There was a little like food stand, got something to eat, and then we waited in line for like a good 45 minutes. It opens up, we get in, and upstairs, I see a very quiet lounge, and it's advertised as the Amex Lounge.
Oh shit!
Just literally, I'm not even kidding, the day prior. So Oddie and I have been going through this process.
Oh, it's been an effort.
So we're both getting an Amex.
Yeah.
But we just were like, let's do it one at a time. And I just happened to do mine first, right?
We're doing
it's
it one at a time so we get more points.
Yeah, exactly. So it's for both of us, but the first one's just in my name and we both use it. And then when Oddie gets his, he'll just have his own. It won't matter. And then literally the day before the concert, it arrived.
Yeah.
I set it up, hadn't spent $1 on it, right? And so we get there and I go up and I'm like, I just opened the app and they were just like, I was thinking they were going to say, you needed to sign up, like you can't do it. And I go up and I've got 3 guests and I'm like, I looked this up and can I come in? And they're like, yeah, no problem. I went in, it's just quiet. It had a bar. It had, it was like you got waited on, you sat down,
Wow.
ordered food. It was cheaper than the food down with all the peasants.
That's
And I was like, let's fucking fake it till we make it. It was great.
that's mad.
And it was didn't have to wait any line. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, we're already getting perks out of it.
Yeah, and I was just like, what a fucking choice this was. What a choice this was.
We also have a gold medal card.
It's so fucking cool.
Get the flex.
We went up to, like, you started to pay for food, obviously. And so when we went up, because out of the group of 4 of us, I was the only one with an Amex.
Yeah.
We went up to buy food and Joanna was like, do you reckon you have to pay with an Amex? And I was like, surely not. And they didn't.
Yeah.
Gladly. And then we went in and, okay, who is, the only thing, we've been to a couple things together, but Noah Khan together. Noah Khan, I remember it was fabulous.
That might be my favorite.
Yeah, it was
Talent-wise, he wasn't the most talented I've ever seen.
Okay,
but like
you've seen Lumineers.
Vibe and enjoyment level,
Yeah.
I think he's my top.
Okay.
And he's like quirky. That adds
I gotta
to it.
say,
I like the quirkiness.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's funny. But Gracie Abrams, bro, it was like another level. And I think what I'm putting it down to is where we saw Noah was the Horden Pavilion at capacity of 6,000, and where we saw Gracie was Kudos Bank with a capacity for a concert, I'm pretty sure like 25 to 30,000, and still felt, what's the word?
Sort of niche, small.
Still felt intimate.
Yeah.
Nearly. Like we were still close to Gracie, which was sick. And I think because of the hype, everyone around it just made it so good. And she just was, she was honestly she's better in person than on the phone.
Really?
Usually they're a better singer through the phone.
Yeah.
But she was a better singer in person. And now listening to her on Spotify in the car, and I'm like, that's not fucking Gracie.
Really?
Like it sounds worse in the car. She was such a good singer in person. I don't know if they had something in the mic. I don't know if they were doing some sort of amplification. But she was so fucking good. I couldn't believe it.
I'll tell you why it would have been even better. One thing that deters me from festivals is the crowd, and like you get lads, stereotypically, they're male dudes and they don't know spatial awareness. But because I assume most of Gracie's audience was female,
90%.
Yeah, it would have been a really nice crowd.
It was awesome.
Respectful.
It was
Everyone's
great.
there to have a good time. I would have loved it.
You would have, bro. It was honestly so good. There was no pushing. There was
Yeah.
it was really tight, but you still had space because everyone was being respectful.
Yeah.
Everyone was cheering. They had stage. And then through the middle they had it barricaded off because she had like a different little stage come up through the middle of the set. And then the security guards could walk through there. And they were passing water And then people were passing it back. And and Joanna goes, wow, the good thing about Gracie is I trust that water, even though it's gone through hands. It's gone through so many hands.
Yeah. Whereas if you go see some like grime rapper or something, you're like,
you wouldn't trust that water.
Not one bit, eh?
Gracie Abrams has aura though, bro. She for a nepo baby, she's got fucking talent.
Is she a nepo baby?
Well, her dad.
How old is she?
25. Yeah, she's 25, bro.
Should we say we got our foot in the door to
Like, not really. we kind of did. Like, we were in talks with her team to maybe do a 15-minute interview.
Yeah.
And then it was they just were just like, nah. Like, we sent a concept, and I reckon they probably didn't even read it. But so she's a nepo baby. Her dad is a movie director.
Really?
And he directed Star Wars.
What?
J.J. Abrams.
Whoa!
You just watched all of Star Wars.
Fuck, that
But
makes
you know
me
what
like her
sucks?
even more.
You know what sucks?
How did you know that? Did she go, do you guys know my dad?
No, she's not gonna fucking want to admit she's never maybe. But her dad directed the shit ones.
Like the newer ones. Yeah, they are shit.
Devo,
Yeah,
that's what.
back there.
It was pretty Devo, but for a nepo baby,
Still
she's
cool,
fucking- she
still
does well.
cool, still cool.
The whole first song, she sang behind a screen, and I don't know. I was initially thinking, when's she gonna come out? But it just created so much tension that when she came out, I was like, "You're a genius, bitch."
Well, I'm a bit jealous, eh?
Yeah,
Sounded good.
it was so good. I
Sounded
loved
great.
it. Yeah, it was honestly.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't do something as exciting as that, but I've got something to talk about, Jake.
Okay.
And it's going to sound dumb,
Okay.
but it's a realistic problem.
Okay.
So I'm 24, you're 25.
Yeah. You're nearly 25. Come on.
That's where I'm getting with this.
Oh, okay.
My birthday is coming up. And my problem is I don't know who to invite to my birthday party.
Oh shit.
Like,
What do
realistically.
you mean? We don't know that many people.
No, that's the opposite of what I'm thinking.
Oh.
I don't hang out, like, they're still my friends. But we don't hang out.
No, you're right.
I haven't hanged out with my friends, like, actually hung out and, like, had fun. I reckon in over a year and a half.
No, correct.
2 years. And I'm like, if I want to do something, do I still do that? I'm in, like, a phase of my life where I don't know who to invite. And, like, we're obviously still friends, but I'm just, like, lost. And, like, this is the first time I've had this conundrum.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Like, you just wouldn't see anyone.
No.
But I normally do something on my birthday. Like last year I went to Bali, JJ came.
Yep.
Year before that I think I had a big dinner.
Okay.
The year before that I went out in Sydney.
Okay.
Like I always normally do something. I like to celebrate my birthday with
Yeah.
my friends, and they're still my friends and I still appreciate their relationships.
Yep.
But I don't hang out with them.
No, you're correct. You're very correct. Yeah, I've just been more accepting it lately. That it's just a thing that I don't know, we don't do. But you can't go wrong with a dinner.
Yeah.
And just inviting,
Well, just invite them all.
like JJ will go, Jai will 100% go.
Well, I still hang out with like two or three of them.
Yeah.
But the other, I just don't see them.
Maybe invite them.
Yeah.
And just don't book a place that's like, you know how some places will charge, they will charge
per
if
head.
not everyone comes. Maybe just don't. I mean, to be fair, you just put it on the Amex anyway. Just fucking use it as a business.
Bit sad
expense.
though, isn't it?
It is a little bit
Growing
sad,
up,
to be
yeah.
fair. It
thinking about
actually is a little
I
bit
used to
sad.
have so many friends.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, here's a thing that is annoying. So, I know someone, and I'm just going to keep this super vague, just because I don't want any specific to be any, like no one knows them, but just to be nice, I'm just going to keep it super vague. I know someone that each year invites like 20 people to their birthday dinner, and people don't show up, and it's like I wouldn't want to set myself up for failure or disappointment.
Not on my birthday.
You know,
It's my birthday.
I would hate the imagine the feeling of like you ever hear stories of a kid throwing a birthday party and when you're younger you put invitations in their mailbox or you give them to them at school or whatever.
Maybe I should send invitations out.
Do you know everyone's address?
Little text message one. I can whip something up on Adobe
Easy, yeah.
and then be like, RSVP me, bitch.
I mean, why not?
And I've gone to the effort instead of just saying in our group chat.
I
it's my
do
birthday.
think that our mates will all come though. I don't think they'll think, oh, no, I'm not going to go to that. I think just because we don't see them often, they will come.
Yeah, okay.
I think they'll still be.
But I was thinking about it, I was
happy to
just
do
like,
it.
wow, this is like also a part of frontal lobe development.
Yeah.
Where like nothing bad has happened and everyone's doing their own thing, but we're starting to break apart.
Maybe for your birthday, we should do a something like a Baddies thing where we have like maybe 20 of the baddies and we do a paint and sip or some shit.
A paint and sip.
Like a Picasso. What's it called?
No, I would hate it's not because like
Pinot Picasso. We're not going to drink the wine.
I wouldn't want to do that because it's like my birthday and also like they're coming to meet and greet us. So it's like double entendre on me. Is that the right word? Double entendre?
Mate, no, it's your B-day.
Yeah, but I'll be like, fuck, I don't want to be the center of attention that bad. Eh?
Why not?
It's like a double thing.
Why not?
I'm so excited to meet you and happy birthday.
Okay, here's why it's actually double entendre or whatever.
Yeah.
Just going to turn my light on. Double entendre is worth it. Is that you don't want to be the center of attention any day, even on your birthday.
That's gonna
like
sound
on your birthday, it makes slightly more sense to be the center of attention. So you may as well do it on your birthday.
That's going to sound very hypocritical now that we have a podcast that we don't want to be the center of attention.
Well, here's the thing about that. Here's what I actually think about that. Right, I actually do think that we like attention, but we don't like in-person attention, which is selfish as fuck. But we must subconsciously have some sort of thing in our head where we're like, yeah, we want people to like us. Maybe.
I think subconscious, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, we're not good outside of this room.
No.
We're socially awkward.
No.
I'm very quiet.
Yeah.
And
like we have enough self-efficacy to think that our conversations should be heard, which is crazy.
True.
Which is crazy.
If you say it like that, that sounds fucking crazy.
It is crazy. Anyone that does it is crazy. Like even a podcast that has 0 listens thinks that their conversations deserve to be heard. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Well, so we've landed on Baddie's painting night.
That would be fucking sick.
Double entendre.
Maybe we should just do that. And
I'd feel bad.
Not be on your birthday.
How do we pick 20 people? Yeah, maybe we should just do that.
How do you pick 20 people? That's a great question. That's good question.
That's very hard. That's very hard.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do it more than once.
True. But drawing board, I got to figure out a plan for my birthday, and then now you've given me another plan.
Okay, maybe. What do you guys think Oddie should do for his birthday? Comment.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Can it involve alcohol?
Yeah, I might get drunk.
Yeah,
I haven't drunk this year yet.
Easy.
Other than on New Year's Day, which is still New Year's. So yeah. But I'm a hit rate of 2 last year. I've drunk twice.
Okay.
And 1 so far this year. First day of the year.
Are you counting like 2 a.m. the 1st of January?
No, it was the first into the second.
Oh, damn, that's right. So that is this year. Yeah, that's like 6 a.m. 1st of January onwards is too far into this year for it not to be.
I thought you said, are you counting how many times you drink this year? And I was like, it's been twice. Like, it's been once and twice. I was like, it's not that hard.
Okay, no, cool. Good dilemma.
All right, up next is IG question of the week. Jake, but before we get into that, we are going to start trying something new. Me and Jake, before we record, we have a little board in front of us and it says keywords we should say. And also it says plug Patreon.
Yes.
And usually we have a little script we spit off the tongue. But what we want to start doing is throwing one out there and see when it lands.
Okay.
And my throw today is going to be, I don't have anything to throw. So this is going to be my plug for Patreon. Just that in general.
Yeah, why not?
You know what's there on Patreon? Actually, episode every single week.
Every single Thursday.
But from here on out, you're going to get us trying to land with a little Patreon plug.
You know where else we like to try new things? Patreon. Yeah. There you go.
It's $5 a month. It's cheap as chips. Yeah. But we got that idea because on Patreon, actually, it's where the baddies unite.
Yeah.
And we were starting every single episode with a new intro, and we landed on that one, and we were both like, oh, shit.
That series lasted 2 episodes.
Yeah. Because I come with heat. I come with heat.
But no, seriously. Support the cause.
That's it.
And sign up to Patreon. But here we go. IG question of the week this week is, what's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do?
Yeah.
And have you got one?
Oh, what do I do? That's
because a lot of mine, I actually, not a lot of them, but some of them I fall under.
There was a lot of pee in the shower, which I didn't think was embarrassing.
I think it's weird that if someone was in the shower and needed to pee, that they got out of the shower to pee.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Isn't that crazy?
Like wet the toilet seat in that. I've had to take a shit and then like you wet the toilet seat and you're like, this is such a pain.
I've been in the shower, If you're in the shower and you're so... Okay, there's nothing worse.
Because you don't want to stop.
Yeah.
And then shit, then because you're dirty again.
There's absolutely nothing worse than going into the shower, not needing to shit, and then halfway through feeling the urge. And so you're probably thinking like, if you get out and you sit on the toilet and you like slide on it like it's a bowl. It's fucking embarrassing.
I swear that used to happen to me a lot more, but it hasn't happened in ages to me.
Yeah.
I feel like my body's learnt or something.
It is weird.
That's embarrassing though.
Yeah. I hate it when you get out of the shower and you fully dry off and you're still naked and then you need to shit. I'll get back in the shower after the shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what was the point of showering?
100% I would too. Embarrassing wise, I reckon one will come to me. I don't
Yeah.
have anything
If
yet.
we can think of one, I'll quickly, because definitely some of these I do, which I'm not embarrassed to admit. I'm actually not embarrassed to admit a lot of stuff, to be fair. So
my favorite thing was we get to see the little emojis of who sent the things in.
we get to see the little profile pics. Yeah.
These things, when I was reading them and I saw the profile picture, I was just laughing at because they're all girls. And you're like, oh, wait, what a second.
Wow. Okay.
Kick things off, I
but
reckon,
if you do, anyone listening, if you have something you're embarrassed to admit, just comment it.
At least these are anonymous.
Yeah, just admit it.
My ones are pretty crazy. I wouldn't want to own up to this. Yeah.
Oh shit, mine aren't that bad. Okay, do you want to go first?
No, you go.
Okay. What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? Stalk my ex.
Oh, that is embarrassing.
That's got to be a classic though.
Wait, is it to like make sure they're doing worse than you or to like check him out and see if he's still hot? Because like the first one's kind of good.
I was just going to know, what's worse? Stalking your ex to see if they're doing worse than you or stalking your ex because you miss them?
Miss you.
Really?
Yes.
Because
pettiness wins. 100%.
It's not petty. It's not petty to stalk your ex to see if they're doing worse than you.
That's petty.
No, it just means you're hung up on them.
I feel like that's petty.
No way, that's not pettiness. It means you're hung up on them.
It's like a little confidence boost. You're like, yeah, I've still got it. He doesn't.
And what if they are more attractive than you?
Then you just cry. You just cry.
I will say there's nothing better than here's the best feeling in the world, is being ignorant to the fact that your partner has moved on, right?
Yeah.
Your ex has moved on. And then being told by someone that they've moved on, not feeling a thing about it, and then that person saying they downgraded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what Instagram should do. If you've previously been in a relationship with someone, Instagram should have some algorithm where it knows that you've been communicating for so long, like sending reels and that.
Yeah.
And if they go back on your profile like more than 5 times, Instagram should tell you, like stalker alert.
Why? Yeah. Wait, I reckon, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
All right. What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? Run to my bed after I turn my bedroom light off and jump in just in case something grabs my ankle.
Same! I still do that and I'm not embarrassed to admit it. Why is that the
The
scariest thing
dark
ever?
is so scary. 100%.
When I was younger, I would do that and I would think to myself, I can't wait till I'm older and I'm not scared of the dark.
Still am.
And when I'm in my bed, under the covers, pitch black, not scared of anything.
Safety.
Yeah, not scared of a thing. But if I will turn my light off and I will hop to my bed.
This is relatable. Anyone with a 2-story house, downstairs, man, that's the scariest place in the world.
If you have a 2-story house, even at the age of 25, at the ripe age of 25, you turn that light off, I go up the stairs on all fours. I'm scurrying up those stairs.
I think I have
And
one
there's a
that said
shadow
that.
behind me clipping my heels, bro. I'm telling you. Okay, because my next one was that. But okay. What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? Check his Snap score.
Oh, that's very, very
That falls under
embarrassing.
stalking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that falls
Stop
under
that. What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? This one's taking it to a new level. Stalk his Spotify to check he still listens to songs about me.
Bro. Oi, I know someone. Okay, again, I got to keep this vague because they may listen to this, but
Who cares?
they're not going to care that I'm telling this, but I'm not going to name names, but they're going to think it's funny that I'm telling this. Okay. So I know someone with an ex who, and this ex, after breaking up with them, led them on quite a bit, right?
Like played them.
Yeah. It was actually quite sad to witness.
Yeah.
And I kept on trying to say, like, they don't want to be with you. Please don't believe them. And like, just cut ties, cut everything, block them, everything. And this ex of theirs would communicate in a way where they had a shared playlist on Spotify, right? And they would change the songs in the playlist to song titles that would write a message
No way.
like I still
That's
love
like a
you,
movie.
like I still want you to be okay. She's like crazy shit, and
Who
they
did
would
this?
show us.
Who did this?
I'll tell you after.
Just beep it. I'll beep it. I'm
It's
the fucking editor. I'll beep it. Really?
Poor girl A. I felt
Oh.
so bad. She's young.
Wait, she was the recipient.
She was the one copying this,
Oh,
and I was like, "Fucking fuck him off!"
Yeah, what? That's some what's that show? You on Netflix type stuff.
I felt so bad. And then he would, again, this same ex would, they found out because they were breaking up and still talking. He knew the area that she lived in, right? And because he lived not far, he would go for a walk near her house.
This is so
And
common, eh?
so what she would do, which is probably semi-unhealthy on her end, is she would check his Snap location a lot.
This sounds so toxic.
All right. And so, all right, we would always like be, but to be fair, it's kind of like, look, when you're in love and you still have feelings, shit's going to overcome you, whatever. It is what it is. But this motherfucker knew that she was checking his location and would go for walks near her house. And so she would then go outside and be like, the fuck are you doing here? And they'd talk for a bit. And she'd be like, do you want to come inside? And he'd just be like, nah. She would like try to be nice to him. He'd just be like, nah.
Yeah, what the hell?
It's fucking insane.
So he didn't even he got what he wanted, but then said he didn't want it.
Like he just wanted to basically know that she was still upset about him or some shit.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
That's so toxic, eh?
Fuck.
Ooh.
It's fucked. And I bet you he's too embarrassed to admit all of that.
100%. He wouldn't tell his friends that.
Fuck no. He was a triplet. She should fuck one of his brothers.
I was about to say, what does that matter? There you go. It's
Your turn.
That's you.
Okay. What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? Use a calculator to double check simple equations.
Oh, no, that's relatable.
That I would do that in school on a test for like 2 + 2. I'd be like, whoa, let's just wait here.
When we invoice brands, I have to GST's 10%. And I got to get 10% of like the figures, which is so simple.
Yeah.
And I always put it in a calculator.
You know what I don't trust is I don't trust my knowledge of how to use a calculator to get percentages. Like if you do 20,000 times 0.2, that's 20%. It's going to give you 2,000. I know that, but I just don't trust it enough. So what I do is I go into Google and I say, what is 20% of 20,000?
I remember Google used to not come up with the answer. It used to pop up with a calculator too, but now it works.
ChatGPT is going to be my next thing.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
ChatGPT is the answer to everyone's problems.
Oh yeah.
That one's relatable.
That's relatable as fuck. Yeah. And I'm not embarrassed to admit that.
Okay, tell me if this is embarrassing. What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? Write love letters to myself from the other person's perspective. What?
That is very embarrassing. What are you talking about? Wait, what?
So you pretend you're in a relationship and you pretend there's a dude saying like, oh, Emily, I'm so happy you came into my life. Our first date was amazing. Oh, I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, that's...
and then you read it back.
That's... okay, depending on whether or not... If you're reading it and you feel... like
loved.
I was gonna say, so if you're reading it and you feel loved, you need a psych ward. And if you're reading it and you feel some sort of like post nut clarity, whatever it is, you're kind of okay.
Imagine you start seeing a girl, right? And you know when you're like first in a room together, you sort of like play and like look at each other's stuff, and you see a note. And you go like, what's that? And she's like, oh, that's from my ex. And it was her who wrote from his perspective. And it was just her writing about herself. And you wouldn't even know.
Ignorance is bliss in that situation. Ignorance is so bliss.
She's just there like, oh shit.
Yeah, ignorance is so fucking bliss in that situation because she's also lucky that I'm not the type to ever ask an ex's name.
Neither.
To ever ask what it was like to be with them and to ever ask to see a photo of them. So she's fully in the clear. Because I'm going to believe that. And I'm going to be like, it's a new enough relationship where... yeah, you are going to have that sickest like hanging out. And if you chuck it out now, fair. Which she's going to because she's embarrassed because she wrote it. But no, she's so sweet if that was to happen to me.
That's funny.
Okay. Here we go. Here's another one that I do, and it's similar to yours. What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? Get scared that a monster will grab my leg if it's out of the blanket at night.
Oh, I've never had that as a kid, eh? Because I run so hot. I always
You're
sleep
telling me
with a knee out or something. Or
You're telling me you can sleep with a bare knee and a bare foot out of your blanket
100%. I do it every single night.
and
I roll
not
dog it.
think about something grabbing it?
I've never once thought about that.
What about if your foot was hanging off the bed?
I've always relied
In
on
midair.
like I'm too big. No one's gonna want to take me. That's what I've relied on. I never had the
That's
monster.
insane.
I had the robber thing.
That is fucking insane.
Like a robber.
What did you?
Not a
you just said
monster.
my mindset is I'm too big.
Yeah.
No one's gonna want to take me.
Yeah. Who wants me? I'm not 6'3".
Fucking crazy.
What
bro.
facts?
Okay.
They're
What about
smaller-
when you were a kid?
There's smaller, easier targets out there who they can take.
But not when you were a kid.
Yeah, true. But I can't. I have terrible memory from my childhood.
Really?
I don't remember anything.
I used to be, I still am, like, depending on how hot it is, if I had a blanket on and I have just a leg out, I'm more scared with that than just taking the blanket fully off.
Really?
And sleeping with nothing on. Yeah.
Well, because then, I see your point.
But could you fall asleep with your foot hanging off the bed? Because if you can, that's crazy.
Not off the bed. Not completely
Yeah.
off the bed. What's that show we had to watch in school where, and there's a book.
Going
about-
around the twist.
No. It was like monsters in the forest or something. We watched it in school. Oh, what is it? You'll know what it is. I got
Monsters in the
so
Forest.
scared after that, and I thought those monsters would take me. They're massive monsters, and he gets lost on a boat. Fuck, listen.
I know what you're talking
Yes.
about. Stop.
It's a book.
Everyone is listening to this is screaming.
He goes on a boat, and it's like a different world. And then they depicted it as like a TV show too.
And they were nice monsters.
Yeah, but they were really scary.
they were
looking.
scary as fuck, but they were nice.
That's what I think's going to take me.
Same.
Yeah.
And you're out here just having a leg out from under the covers.
I remember I had nightmares after
You
that.
fucking
What was
wild
that show?
child.
It's something in the wild.
Into the Wild.
Yeah, that's what it is. Ooh, there's
That's not ringing a full bell.
something into the wild. It's almost there. Someone comment.
It's definitely something into the wild.
Yeah,
and if
yeah.
it's just into the wild, then yeah,
We landed.
we landed hard.
What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? Okay. This one is crazy. That's a girl. Take used tissues from my bin to blow my nose because I can't be asked to walk across my room.
Yeah, that's fucking insane, bro. What?
I can make you feel better if I like spill something or like there's something. I would never blow my nose with some rubbish out of the bin, but if there's like something in there, I'd wipe it up. Like if I spilt my water bottle or something, I would use some rubbish like that. But I'd never touch my own skin with it.
Wow. Not once have I ever spilt something and thought, or had to blow my nose.
Never
and,
blow your
and
nose.
thought the closest tissue was in the bin. Like if something goes into the bin, it's in a different world that's unattainable to me. Like I can't even.
I feel like the office bin is like free roam, like sort of. It's not that dirty because it's not an actual bin.
office.
Yeah, like your office for where you edit and shit. Because I just put paper and occasional
Oh
tissue.
yeah.
It's not
yeah,
an actual
yeah,
bin.
yeah. No. That's
So
but and your room should also not just be like you shouldn't put food scraps in your fucking room.
I
bin.
hope not.
That's crazy.
Who knows what this girl
To be
does?
fair, yeah. I mean, what's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? Singing the ABCs whenever I need to do something involving alphabetical order.
What do you have to do? I still go like I could never know the months. I have to go like January, February, March,
so
April,
do
May,
I.
July, August.
Which is also kind of crazy
Yeah.
that we have to do that. But the ABCs, if something's in alphabetical order, so like right now, would you? If I said like, okay, where is P?
No one knows that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Let me guess. P. There's 26.
Q?
No,
Is it after Q?
No, I was going to go, what number is it in the alphabet? I'm going to go like 17.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Oh,
16,
fuck.
bro.
That was close.
LMNOP. How do you sing it? Is it LMNOP or LMNOP?
LMNOP.
LMNOP, yeah.
Yeah,
Did I
yeah.
tell you about the time I went to kindergarten?
Yeah, I remember
And
this.
this teacher started singing it.
Did I tell you about the time I went to kindergarten?
That's a funny.
like
it's a funny
recently?
sentence to say. Yeah. Yeah, fucking 20 years ago recently. Also crazy to say. It was like nearly 20 years ago. But yeah, I remember learning LMNOP at home and at preschool. And then stupid fucking Miss Kirchhoffer.
Is that her actual name?
Yeah, she starts playing it out of a little DVD player. That's how old we are. And yeah, it's like LMNOP. I was like, what is this bullshit?
Yeah.
You make me look
LMNOP.
dumb. You make me look dumb for no reason. Like just because I'm fast doesn't mean I'm dumb.
Yeah, legit.
Like, come on. Fuck me.
If you don't do it their way, it's the wrong way.
Exactly.
Is it me? No, it's you.
Okay, it's my last one. What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? Read smutty One Direction fan fiction.
No, that's fine. Oh, Smutty's a bit weird. They were hot though.
To be fair, I actually don't know if I would think that that's like a red flag or anything.
Well, but their music doesn't age, so I think it's fine.
Yeah, so I don't know. Do you think reading fan fiction that's like obviously sexual? I dare say the fan fiction that you're reading is like you're reading it from your POV and maybe like, I don't know, all 5 band members just come in and rail you or something.
Do you reckon anyone's ever wrote something about us?
Nah.
You don't reckon?
No. There's no way.
You don't reckon?
Well, we're not sexualized.
True.
Yeah. And I think it's quoted out there way too many times, each one of us saying that we don't have big dicks and we also don't last overly that.
Speak for yourself, man.
No. We also preach that 7 to 10 minutes is a long time for sex. So
I preach that.
Yeah. So I don't think anyone's out here writing fan fiction with that in the back of their mind.
The best 7 to 10 minutes of your life.
You never know. They could be writing it with like, let's go on Reddit. It's where it lives, you know?
All right, I got 2 more.
Okay.
What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? I asked for 2 forks when I grab takeout because I don't want them to know I'm going to eat it alone.
Oh, genius. Yeah. Actual genius. You know what's the biggest insult ever is when you're getting takeout and you're comfortable with them knowing it's on your own, but they give you 2 forks without asking because they think it's for 2 people.
Yeah.
They're like, you fat fuck.
You call me fat.
Oh my God. This is for tomorrow's lunch as well, all right? Fuck you.
My GYG order is always 2 forks.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, fuck you.
That's all right. Funny.
This one, I think we both do.
Okay.
What's something you're too embarrassed to admit you still do? Smell my own farts.
Yeah.
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 I do that.
I 100% do that.
Well,
I mean, you can't. Like, you just are forced to anyway.
Yeah. You ever do
it's around you?
Cupcake yourself?
No. And the only person that's ever cupcaked me in my whole life is you. And you fucking do it often.
That's what friends are for.
I had one more and it was something that I'm not, like, I feel like everyone admits this and it's picking your nose.
Oh yeah, that's not embarrassing.
Like behind closed doors, I pick nose. Like I get confident enough around people where I will just turn my back to them and pick my nose.
Yeah,
like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And if I don't know them, I'll pick it.
Yeah,
I'm never going to see them.
Know me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone does it. Yeah, big booger. That's the worst of the world.
What's oi? Okay, I think I have
The one of many.
got mine.
What is it?
Okay, something I'm too embarrassed to admit that I still do, but I only started doing it a couple years ago. I got brainwashed by a TikTok, and it was a guy saying that he doesn't wash his hands after he uses the toilet. Right? Number 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And he was like
2's crazy.
And he goes, if I'm not going to kill the germs because I'm just basically telling my I'm just like giving my immune system a reason to be weak. So his whole reasoning was like, if my immune system can't handle that, then I'm a fucking pussy.
So you don't wash your hands at all.
And so after I wee, especially in a public toilet, after I wee, I don't wash my hands.
I don't. I don't even touch it. I don't even hold my wheel in a public place.
But whenever I poo,
yeah,
I wipe and then I wash my hands, but maybe 50% of the time with soap. So 50% of the time I wash my hands after I poo with just water.
I don't know. This is kind of crazy, man.
But about 2 weeks ago, I started washing it after I poo. I started washing my hands with soap every single time because one time I just did the water thing and dried my hands. And then about 2 hours later, I randomly had my face near my thing. It smelled like poo on my fingers, bro. Yeah. And I was like, how's my fucking hand?
That is disgusting.
I was like, why does my hands smell like shit? I was like, what? And then I was like, wait, I did a poo earlier. And then I just didn't use soap, but now I use soap every time.
You should have kept that to yourself. That's
right. I mean, it is what it is. People are people, bro.
Does Beth know that?
Well, if she listens to this, she does.
She has to hold those things, mate. Yeah, that's crazy.
So, but no, she can live in comfort knowing that for 2 weeks I've been washing them 100% of the time.
You've been dating 1.5 years.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't think if she's ever smelt poo on my hands, then she's kept it to herself, mate. But it is what it is. What's your embarrassing thing? You got to have something.
I'm not embarrassing, man. Nothing came to mind, eh?
See, I'm not actually that embarrassed to admit that.
No.
See, we can admit it.
I do like weird, nothing like embarrassing. It's sort of just like, what's it called when you're skeptical? No.
Optimistic.
No, when you're like voodoo, you're scared like something's gonna happen.
Oh, a bit
like,
of karma.
Karma. Like if I miss
manifestation.
if I miss the bin, but it's close enough and like it's not hurting anybody, I'll go and pick it up purely out of the fact of bad karma.
Oh yeah, no, same. Shut the fuck up. That's not embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing to admit, you idiot.
That's what I said.
You're just admitting that you're a good person.
But
shut up. That was so pick me.
I'm doing it. I told you I don't have anything. You made me think in the back of my brain. But I do it out of not getting karma, not that I'm a good person. Like I'm not thinking
no.
I've got to save the world.
It's selfish.
Yeah.
Same. I do it out of selfishness, thinking
like,
I don't want the bad karma.
Yeah, that's why I do it.
Same. But that's why everyone does it. Yeah. And that's why the world is starting to become a better place, because we're all selfish and we don't want bad things to happen to us.
True.
So we start doing good things for the world.
Dilemmas time, baby. And if anyone wants to submit one, it is pinned at the top of the description and also link in bio on Instagram. Scroll to the bottom. There's a picture of Jake with his arms crossed and it says dilemmas.
Let's go.
And there's been a lot of submissions. So
yeah,
thanks everybody.
There has been lots.
You're going to hate this.
Okay, shit.
And it's got a title, so you're going to love that.
Love that.
He thinks it's harmless. My intuition thinks it's a warning.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I've picked on, she's written this and put it in ChatGPT to make it better. So I'm happy for that.
I love it. Hey. I think everyone should do that.
You know how I know?
How? Oh, the couple double dashes.
I taught
ya.
Jake the other way.
Good girl.
I've been dating my boyfriend for a while now, but we've been close friends for nearly 10 years before that. Wow. He has 3 other girlfriends he's close with, and he slept with all of them. I knew about this before we got together, and at first I was okay with it. But one of them has started to bother me, and I can't shake the feeling. She's the only one whose history with him is a secret. They both choose not to tell their friendship group, in brackets, even though all other hookups with the group are open about it. I'm the only one who knows. The secrecy just feels loaded. She stalks my socials, pretends to be nice. My women's intuition is screaming that something isn't right. And let's be honest, women's intuition is rarely wrong. I trust him. He's done nothing to make me question him, but everything in me says she has bad intentions. And I don't like her in the picture at all. I want her out of his life. But how do I ask that when nothing's technically happened? How do I protect my peace without sounding possessive or insecure? I've explained to him how I feel, but he doesn't want to cut her out of his life altogether. How do I make him understand she is bad news and he doesn't want to listen?
Damn, I was hoping you weren't going to say that you had spoken to him about how you feel already, because that was going to be my go-to bit of advice.
Communication.
I was going to be like, tell him how you feel. Check, dilemma done.
Okay. But
wait, so he doesn't see it. Damn, how do we feel about that?
But if you've communicated how you feel and you don't like that he's had previous relations with her and you feel uncomfortable and you don't trust her, and he's like, I still want her in my life.
Yeah, red flag.
Very red.
In my opinion.
That's like, you're dating me, bitch. Like, you slept with her. That means bodily functions have been exchanged.
It is. I find it so weird, right? That I don't know. I don't know if this is like crazy mindset, but with my girlfriend, there's a few people in this world that if she gave me an ultimatum of it's either them or me, I would think it's probably worse on her end. Like, if it's like kind of selfish on her end to even give me that ultimatum, because obviously that you can't make a choice in that. But I think there is times where the fact that you even need to get to an ultimatum when the choice should be so obvious, it's a major red flag from your partner. So it's like, if Beth was friends with someone and became friends with them even before we started dating and had a relationship with them, and I knew about it, and maybe initially I was okay with it. Love is blind. And then I started saying how uncomfortable it made me feel. The why is your friendship with them more important than how I feel?
Yeah, it's weird.
I think that sacrifices need to be made, and that your feelings, because it's not, here's the thing, is it's not unreasonable. What I'm saying.
Your feelings should be seen, whereas them keeping that friendship is sort of being like, oh,
yeah,
I don't care.
Like, I just think that because your feelings are reasonable, if it was something that's like super unreasonable, like, I don't know, I can't really think of something super unreasonable.
Like,
but
like she swears too much.
Yeah, like if you were being like very unreasonable, then I could understand him saying that's crazy, or like
slept
why.
with her.
But because your feelings aren't unreasonable, I think that it is a pretty major red flag.
I think so too. And at what point do you bring this up with him and say, look, like the ultimatum, when do you bring that up and say like it's me or her? Or is that a toxic thing to do?
Well, I mean, I don't know, because like everyone says it's a toxic thing, but also I would hate to feel as though I need to even give the person I'm with an ultimatum. You know what I'm saying?
Does that mean the relationship's gone if you need that ultimatum?
Yeah, don't you think it's kind of, if I had to give my girlfriend an ultimatum saying it's either me or this friend of yours that's a dude.
I feel like the relationship's lost.
Yeah,
it?
that they have slept and they've slept together and I feel uncomfortable and she still wants to be friends with him. Like, I can't speak for your boyfriend, but if the fucking tables were turned, I just know what it feels like to love someone, and I actually also know what it feels like to be kind of jealous. And also to just not feel super secure. Like, your boyfriend's not helping you feel secure right now.
No, he's not helping the cause at all. And also the fact that he's maintained these friendships, I don't know, maybe it's toxic on my mindset to think you can't be friends with someone you've had sex with. But
I agree though. I just don't.
That exchange that you do, there's some type of connection that no one else feels, and it's a deep underlying connection. And if you get in a relationship with someone, you owe it to them not to still converse with that person because of that past relationship. Even if you weren't dating, it's still something that's so intimate and should make it's honest. It's honestly so normal to feel insecure that what your boyfriend's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and here's the thing that's hard as well is I don't know how I would feel in her very niche situation right now of whether or not, because it's easy to say, oh, maybe you guys just aren't meant for each other, right? But I don't know how I would feel in the exact situation because, you know, you would feel like, what a waste of fucking time. And you would be like, well, this feels like a silly reason to leave him. But I don't know, protecting your peace may not be the silliest reason.
How can you make him realize, let's just say he's a dumb boy and he can't see the situation for what it is and how it makes her feel, which is a red flag. But how can you, what's the step before breaking up or that ultimatum that makes him see the situation for what it is? Because obviously he can't see it.
Yeah.
How do you make someone who's blind see something?
I wonder in what detail she has expressed how she felt. I dare say it's just like probably as much detail as you can go, you know, because he shouldn't need to know any more apart from the fact that she's uncomfortable with it.
Yeah. As soon as you say like, I'm uncomfortable, he should be like, oh, what can I do to help? I'm sorry, my actions are doing this.
Do you reckon this is toxic? I think we've given this advice before where you bring it up with your boyfriend again and you end the conversation with, look, I don't want to argue with you about it. But I do need you to know that this is not something that I will be putting up with because I value my feelings. So is that giving an ultimatum without actually giving it? Because his response could be, well, are you giving me an ultimatum then? And you could just say, well, no, that's not what I said. I think you should know that I have enough fucking pride in myself and value my feelings enough that I'm not going to put myself through this.
I like
and
it
you need to know that.
Protecting yourself.
Yeah, it's like it's not about the ultimatum. It's about you saying, I need you to know 100%. If you don't know this about me already, that this is not something I will be putting myself through because you can't control everyone.
And the result of that is he should realize the magnitude of what he's doing from you saying that.
And it's not really an ultimatum. It's more him making a decision and realizing.
And worst case scenario is you've protected your peace by saying that and the relationship dissipates. But better case scenario, he's like, oh shit, I didn't realize how much this was impacting you. I'm so sorry. I'm going to cut off the relationship.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And you might not even, you could even just say like, yeah, that's just like, it makes me feel like shit, and I won't
stand for it.
And yeah, like I don't want to feel like shit. And so I don't have many options to not feel like shit, you know? Think about it. I don't want to feel like shit. And you can walk away and he's going to be like, well, she's obviously thinking about leaving me. So
yeah. It's like,
yeah,
you're my boyfriend. You shouldn't be making me feel like shit.
Yeah, you were right. That does piss me off, this one. Yeah. shit like this does piss me off, eh?
Yeah.
It pisses me off so bad.
But I think what you said is a great tip, whereas you're putting yourself first and protecting your emotions.
Yeah.
And then he can do what he wants, but you can't control what he does.
Exactly.
So I think that's the best advice you can give.
Yeah, 100%. Welcome to Relatable's Baddies Book Club, where we will embark on a journey reading some of the finest pieces of literature you have ever laid eyes, or ears, if that's your preferred way to consume a book, on.
Oh, no. A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Chapters 30 to 37.
Jake.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Relatable's Baddies Book Club.
Oh, I'm excited but sad.
Yeah.
We're getting to the end of the book.
Yeah, we are coming to an end. I'm glad there's so many books in this series because...
Yeah, same. It's gone quick. I'll hand you this back because you will need it. But to start, do you want to talk about new thoughts and feelings of how you're feeling after reading those 6 chapters?
How do I feel after reading these chapters? Okay. It's a good question. I think I'm feeling I am happy with where it went, but I'm just way, way more curious because of where we forced ourselves to stop.
Yeah, I
Very
wanted to
curious.
say apologies. A lot of the comments said, do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately how we've done this is we're pre-recording, obviously. So we see the comments post.
Yeah, we record. So the day that we're recording this comes out 6 days from the day we're recording it, basically. Yeah.
But it's worked out well. How I'm feeling, I feel like I've been lied to my whole life.
Damn, bro. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we found out some shit. I'm not going to lie. We found out some shit and holy, it's all coming back to me.
Yeah. The start of that chapter, so the start's we can probably miss. She's back in her village and her family hates her. Pause. Her family was shit.
Yeah,
they don't even care.
I actually, my actual genuine feelings are, I feel slightly anxious.
Anxious.
I'm a little anxious.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I am with it.
Where we stopped kind of worked out well because she just survived.
Yeah. Okay. I got good notes.
Let's go through the chapters. Okay.
So I've just got a sentence really about what each chapter was about.
Yeah.
Chapter 30. We ended off at chapter 29. She's gone. Tamlin has sent her home. Okay. Because of all the shit that's going down. And then she gets home. There's nothing really crazy happens, blah, blah, blah. Basically, Nesta, her older sister, she calls Feyre out and goes, where have you been this whole time? And Feyre's like, what do you mean? And Nesta goes, there's no aunt, whatever her fucking name was, made up name was. And she's like, what do you mean? And then Nesta goes, that magic didn't work on me. Tamlin's glamour worked on Elaine and the dad, but it didn't work on Nesta.
She thought she was going crazy.
And so she thought she was going crazy, and Nesta just chucks this shard of wood from a table that Tamlin must have ripped off with one of his claws on the night he initially came and took Feyre.
Yeah.
Right? And so Feyre goes, shit. And Nesta says, tell me everything. And so now Feyre tells her literally every detail, obviously.
Yeah. I thought, that was good, but also when she got back to her family and they were rich now and they didn't really care and they were talking about trade and new houses and stuff, and I was like, this is just boring.
I know, her family's kind of boring.
Yeah.
I won't lie, her family is boring.
But that sister going and she went to go look for the aunt's place, but she knew she was just going after her. And
she hired the mercenary.
Yeah, she went on the wall for 3 days or something.
Couldn't find anything. And she went in the dead of winter.
That was quite nice.
Yeah, I will say, of all the family members, Nesta is the best, even though she's the bitchiest.
Yeah. That made you feel a little bit good, a bit better. But otherwise, continue.
Yeah, so then to chapter 31.
Yeah.
Feyre learns of a house nearby that burned down where the whole family was in it. Servants, everything, except one of the daughters was never found, right? And the daughter that was never found goes by the name of Claire Bedore. And we didn't mention this, right?
We forgot to.
But that makes it good.
Yeah.
Is when Rhysand was in the dinner hall or whatever, where when she was still in the Spring Court, he was like, "What's your name?" And off the top of her head, she said, I can't tell him my real name because he's going to go look for my family because he's going to ask for my last name as well. So she said that her name is Claire Bedore. Yeah. And he goes, and he believes it. And so then she's home for a couple of days, finds out about the house burning down, and she goes, oh, whose house? And they go, oh, it was the Bedores family. And she goes, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
They were going to go fucking kill her whole family.
Yeah, and when I read that, I was like, yes.
I know.
I was like, genius. And then she felt bad.
Well, yeah, you would feel terrible. You got a whole family killed.
But she saved her family. I was like, better theirs than hers.
You would still feel terrible, but you would still think that it was the right thing to do for your family.
Yeah. I was like, genius. And then she's like, oh, groveling and shit. And I was like, oh, what can you do?
And so she's like, shit. And so, but because of that, and because she is now like, oh, you know, Amarantha and her fucking little gremlins and Rhysand and shit, they're game enough to come on this side of the wall and do that.
Yeah.
Something must have happened in the Spring Court. And she tells she tells Nesta, and Nesta goes like, fuck. And basically Feyre says, I'm going. Yeah. She was home for 2 chapters and then she just goes back.
Yeah. It was like hop, skip, and a jump. Didn't she tell her whole family what happened? There's no auntie.
She told her whole family what happened, and as she was telling them, it's almost like getting the truth made the glamour go away, and then they remembered everything and they were horrified and they were scared. And her dad is such a fucking baby, bro.
Yeah. Oh. And they're all like, oh, go do it. Like, didn't he say, was it the sister or the dad that said, like, we don't need you here anymore?
Nesta said that.
And then she, like, was delusionally telling herself, like, that made her feel better about it. But I was like, no.
Yeah. Nesta goes, Father told you last time not to come back. Yeah. I'm telling you again, we don't need you here. We can take care of ourselves. Don't come back, Feyre. And then Feyre goes underneath it delusionally. Yeah. It wasn't an insult. I was like, what? That was the fucking biggest insult I've ever fucking heard, bro. I need to stop swearing. I just can't.
Whatever makes you sleep at night. I was like, that's so mean. We don't need you.
Oh, man. And then, so she goes back.
Yeah.
Chapter 32.
This is where it gets good.
Yeah. She goes back to Tamlin's Manor. She finds a hole in the wall. She's there for like 2 days or something.
Yeah.
And she goes through the hole in the wall. And she goes back to the manor. And everyone's gone. It looks like, she says it looks like a fight has taken place, but it doesn't look like it was an army against an army. It looks, she said it looked like it was most likely Tamlin versus Rhysand.
Bit of a scuffle.
And there's no bodies anywhere.
Yeah.
So she was like, they can't be dead. I can't see any bodies. And then in the house, she runs into Alice, her old servant friend. And basically, she just gets Alice to tell her everything. And we should mention, before she finds Alice, she's saying she's going to tell Tamlin that she's realized she's in love with him. Yes. Okay, yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
And then here's where the law drops.
Yes.
All right? Mouthful and a half. I need to take a sip of my drink because holy moly.
I actually got sad reading.
Same.
Everything Alice was saying, I was like, are you kidding me?
I was sad as well.
Yeah.
So she goes back, she finds Alice. She's going back to tell Tamlin how she feels. Because he finishes it off with, I love you. And again, semi-manipulative from him, guys. But
Tamlin is just manipulative to a core.
Yeah, he's fucked. Yeah. Okay, so she goes back. She goes to tell, and so Alice starts telling her where they've gone. Basically, how do you tell us in the right timeline? So Amarantha has taken the whole Spring Court.
Yes.
Okay. Reason being is Amarantha is the High Queen of Prythian. She has been for about 50 years. She's been in Prythian for a lot longer because she was the King of Highburn, which is just another country about over the water. The King of Highburn's highest up general in his war against the mortals, right? And she was a nasty mother trucker. She had a sister named Clythia. Clythia fell in love with a human that was the leader of the humans fighting against Amarantha and King Highburn, right? And Jurian was using Clythia, and Clythia's sister Amarantha knew this, but she couldn't bring herself to kill Jurian because she didn't want to hurt her sister. Jurian gets what he needs from Clythia and then he tortures her and kills her using ash wood, because we all know that is how humans can kill fairies. And Amarantha really just like breaks down, shows her wrath. Apparently it could be heard for the heavens or some shit. I don't know. Amarantha is a crazy bitch. And so what she does is finally Amarantha and Jurian go head to head, and she slays Jurian, but then higher up people get involved and set the treaty. And so Amarantha, like that part of the story randomly, I guess, is just a good reason for Amarantha to hate humans, because it kind of isn't super valid. But basically, Tamlin's family from the Spring Court have really close ties with Highburn, the country. And Tamlin's elder, like his father and that, they all, like, and King Highburn and Amarantha, they all hated humans. And Tamlin is probably the first one of his fucking bloodline to actually not hate humans and just like hate slavery. So from when he was young, him and Amarantha actually knew each other really well before the war, because they're super old, because the Spring Court had close ties to Highburn, and she's Highburn's highest general, and she has eyes for Tamlin. She loves Tamlin. And so basically when the war's over, she comes back to Prythian and starts to swindle and trick all of the High Lords of Prythian, all the 7 High Lords of Prythian. They're like, we don't want you here. And she's going, no, my sister's death has changed me. I've come to prove to you that I have changed, and I don't hate humans, and I want to live here, and I want to help for everything that I've done. Yeah. For like ruining your lands. And so basically what she does...
How long was she doing that for?
A long time.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, a long time. And what she was actually secretly doing was gathering power. And one of the ways that she got all the 7 High Lords to agree to letting her stay there was that she said she will open up trade routes from Highburn, because I think he's richer than all the 7 High Lords of Prythian. He opened up trade routes. And with those trade routes, she was sneaking in her own troops without Highburn even knowing. And basically... still with all of that, she couldn't beat the 7 High Lords of Prythian because of how fucking strong their magic was. Like, apparently Tamlin used to be an animal. And so what she did one night was she invited all of them to her court, which is the court under the mountain. And she somehow used an old spell of King Highburn's and put it into a drink, gave it to all of the 7 High Lords who thought they were just going for a party, and she using that spell stripped them of their power, leaving them to their most basest elements, which Tamlin's still a beast, but he used to be even way more. And so she's taken all their power, and in turn, she actually has become what is known as the Blight. Like, Amarantha put this spell on them.
Well, basically, the Blight's not real.
Amarantha is the Blight. Yeah. But the reason that they were calling it the Blight to Feyre is because the spell makes it so they can't actually talk about what's happened, right? Because she wants Tamlin, and he says, no, you're disgusting. I don't want to go near you. So she takes all their power, and she says, ha, Tamlin, you have 7 times 7 years to break this curse, and then I'm coming to get you. And 49 years to someone that's a fairy is nothing. And so basically, the way to break the curse, Tamlin has 49 years to do it, is because of how much Amarantha hates the humans and the humans hate Amarantha, she made it impossible for him to break the curse. And the way to break the curse was he has to send over a fairy from his court and let it be slain by a human that hates fairies with a passion. He has to bring the human back, make it fall in love with him, and then if that human is to then hate fairies but then fall in love with Tamlin and then love fairies and say, I love you, the curse will be broken, masks come off, and everyone gets their power back. So, he was doing that for years and years and years. Failure, just sending off people to be killed, turning a fairy into a wolf, sending it off to be killed. And then he has about a year left. It's the 48th year or 49th year left with it's the 49th year with 3 months left or something. And he just has one more crack at it because he does not want to be Amarantha's bitch. And so he sends Andreas over, who he has said is his best mate, actually wasn't. He was sending him to be butchered, and Feyre kills him. That's the wolf that Feyre kills at the start of the book. And then Tamlin's like, I got my fucking meat. Let's go. Brings her in, makes her fall in love with him, and then says, I love you. And the reason that he stuck his head in the carriage at the end that one last time to say, remember, Feyre, I love you, is because if she was to have said it back, everything would have been happy days. His mask would have fallen off.
I don't reckon it would have happened. The way we're finding out
How Amarantha works.
I feel like it was all just one like sort of play.
Yeah.
But that's why they were doing everything. So basically, Tamlin's been lying to her the whole time.
The whole time. Hey, Feyre hears all this from Alice.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even care. She still is just like, I love Tamlin.
Yeah, which I was like, he's had ulterior motives to loving you. Does he actually love you, or does he just want to get rid of this curse?
It's the most insane lore I've ever heard. I dropped my book.
Yeah, but now we're finding out about how Amarantha operates. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But then at that point, I was like, fucking hell,
Okay, so basically that was some lore that everyone needed to hear.
Yeah.
And then she says to Alice, like, I need to go get him. And Alice goes, no. She kind of has an argument.
It's a death sentence.
And then one last time. And here's what, okay, you know what I think about this? I think Alice was saying no to taking her to the court under the mountain to save Tamlin and Lucien for a reason. The reason she was saying that is to say, like, she said to her, like, no, it's a death sentence, you'll die. And then Feyre still goes, I don't care, I want to go, take me. She goes, no, you are going to die. She was testing to see how much she actually loves Tamlin.
Right.
Because I do think that the love can still save him. Even after what we've heard, even after what we've read, I do think the love can still save him.
Okay.
So she ends up taking her, takes her to this cave, which is a shortcut.
Yep.
And she says a couple of rules. Do you remember them?
It was listen carefully.
Yeah, just like listen carefully. Don't make deals with anyone don't make a deal with anyone unless your life depends on it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Just basically. Oh, and she said one more thing. She said, there is a part of Amarantha's curse that still doesn't let me tell you certain things about the curse, and it's obviously for a reason. So keep your ears open, because that's why I think her love for Tamlin can still.
Oh, because the
you know what I
curse
mean?
is still sort of operating.
Because there's a loophole in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so she tells her all that. Feyre enters, chapter 33, Feyre enters the cave, and not long in, she has arms around her arms, and she's like, holy shit, what's that? She turns around, it's the Ator.
Yep.
Chapter 34, Feyre gets taken to the throne room. Yep. We finally meet Amarantha. Tamlin is sitting next to Amarantha. I think he's drugged or some shit.
Oh, yeah, he is, 100%. He's high as fuck.
He's fucked up.
I love what she said when she saw him. She goes, she's not as beautiful as I thought.
Yeah! Yo, she did say that too.
She's ugly.
Yeah, she's not of the beauty that I expected or something like that. Oh, bro.
And I was just like, you cheeky bitch.
Yeah. She's like, you don't threaten me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Tamlin's going to choose me. That's what she's thinking in her head. Okay. Yeah. And when she enters the throne room, so she sees that Tamlin's there. She's like, holy shit. And then Amarantha's like, well, what do we have here? Ada was like, a human, whatever. And then she turns around behind her. Who's hanging there, dead and tortured? Claire Bedwar.
Yeah.
She's like, holy shit. And then she feels guilty again. And then she's talking to Amarantha, and she's saying, well, why are you here? And basically, she doesn't really know what to say. And finally, she says, I'm here to claim the one I love. Thinking that that's going to break the curse.
Yeah.
And she's like, the one you love. And she's like, the High Lord of the...
Tamlin, you've been busy.
Yeah, the High Lord of the Spring Court. And she's like, Tamlin. And Marantha's like, bitch, Tamlin, what are you doing out here, fucking humans, you dirty dog? What are you doing out here? And Tamlin goes, what does Tamlin say? He says, like, oh, this has to be a joke. Rhysand's playing a joke. Like, he's trying to protect Feyre still. Like, Rhysand's playing a joke.
Even though he's high.
Yeah,
he's still trying to protect her. Maybe the love is real.
Yeah, and so... Here we go, right? Chapter 35.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No. Sorry.
Yeah, we got the...
in chapter 34, she's talking that she says, I'm here to claim the one I love. And then Amarantha, because she's so powerful and gets so bored, she goes, well, things have been boring here since I tortured your friend Claire here. All right? And so she says, how about this? You can have the one you love and the Spring Court can be free if you do my trials. 3 trials over 3 months. Every single time there's a full moon, you do a trial.
Yes.
And Feyre's like, shit, Alice said don't make deals. And then she goes, okay. And she's thinking about it. And then Amarantha goes, and I'm going to make it even more interesting. I'm going to give you a riddle. If you can solve this riddle at any point in the 3 months that you are here doing the trials, everyone can be let go masks off, Tamlin's yours, magic restored to the lands, to the High Lords, immediately. And that word means something because she was like, immediately. She says, deal. And then she gets beat up.
Oh yeah,
she makes a deal with Amarantha, and then and then Amarantha goes.
Woke up in the
Amarantha's like, okay, let's give her a warm welcome to the Midnight Court. She just gets beat up by like 4 fairies, proper beat up.
And it was like quick like that. What did you think the answer to the riddle was?
I've got the riddle. I'm gonna read it.
I thought. Oh.
I know. Here we go. I'm gonna tell you what I think my answer is because I think I know the answer.
So do I.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna read it quickly. It's a fucking confusing though.
I thought the ending of it gave it away.
This is the riddle, guys. There are those who seek me a lifetime, but never we meet. And those I kiss, but who trample me beneath ungrateful feet. At times I seem to favor the clever and the fair, but I bless all those who are brave enough to dare. By large, my ministrations are soft-handed and sweet, but scorned, I become a difficult beast to defeat. For though each of my strikes lands a powerful blow, when I kill, I do it slow.
Well, I thought the answer was Amarantha.
I thought the answer was Tamlin.
I thought it's Amarantha.
Okay. So she's doing a riddle about herself.
That's what I thought.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
Shit, for some reason, I just was like, it's got to be the answer's Tamlin.
But
I don't know why.
Tamlin doesn't kill slow. But she does.
I think there's things we don't know about him, though.
But she's trying to kill Freya slow. That's what gave it away, I thought.
No, you're right.
But that's it. When I was like, that's fucking her, bitch. Like, just say it.
It is. You're right. So it could just be that the riddle is her.
But also, I think it's a curveball, and it's going to be something we haven't even like met yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the riddle. Then she gets, Feyre gets taken back to her cell, wakes up all bloody, broken nose, basically. And then Lucian sneaks in.
Yeah, tries to fix her nose, but can't make it look too obvious.
Yeah. And then so she actually so she goes to the cell after making the deal and then comes back a few days later. And that's when she gets the riddle. Yeah. And then, but before she gets the riddle, Amarantha realizes she doesn't know Feyre's name because she thought it was Claire Bedore, right? And this is why I think that my last week's prediction is running slightly true.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because she brings Feyre up and she's like, well, what is your name? It's only fair because you know mine. She's silent. And then she says to Rhysand, like, Rhysand, come here. He looks, she's like, she gave you the name Claire Bedore and you went and got Claire Bedore and told me that's the girl that you saw. Yeah. But look at this one right here. Is this not the girl that you saw at Tamlin's Manor? Yeah. And Rhysand goes, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to humans. But he has seen her twice. He saved her once at Fire Night, looked her dead in the eyes and dead in the face at Tamlin's Manor. And he's a fairy. He's a fucking beast. He doesn't forget faces, right? Just because she's human. Oh. I reckon he's trying to protect her from Amarantha.
That went over my head, to be honest. I just thought he was like a selfish prick who didn't care.
No, I think he wants to fuck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think he does.
That's a good pickup, though. That's a great pickup.
And so, basically that happened. And then she like threatens to kill Lucian or something, so she gives her a name. Yeah. And then chapter 36 is she does the first trial. Yeah. And it's just like
a massive worm with like a mouth with heaps of fangs and teeth, and then there's like poo and mud on the ground.
She's just like thrust into this big pit with a worm.
Yeah.
And then it's like a maze kinda. And she has to Amarantha goes, I've been doing some research on you. Apparently you're a huntress. She's like, hunt this. She's like, what do you mean? I'm being hunted by it. It wants to eat me. And then the other reason I think that Rhysand likes Feyre is because here's how halfway through the fight with the worm, she realizes it's blind. And so then she also realizes it's relying on smell and smelling her human flesh, right?
Do you reckon what he says?
And so she puts all the mud and worm feces all over her because that's going to make her invisible. And one of the fairies watching, like a bunch of fairies are watching this because they don't care about Feyre, they want her to die. They're cheering and they're like, ew, what's she doing? And Rhysand goes, she's making herself invisible. And he's like impressed, right? And so I was like, okay.
I still was taking it as like he didn't give a fuck. Like,
he's
she's obviously that's what she's doing.
Yeah,
like,
and then she goes and she kills the worm. Yeah, passes the first trial. Yeah, she gets taken back up to the Amarantha's feet, And she was like, oh, like, I don't know, must have said well done or something. And then she goes, everyone in my court lost a lot of money on you tonight because they were making bets on her life. A lot of people bet that you weren't going to last 30 seconds. Some said you'd last 5 minutes. Every single person, or like every single fairy in my court, apart from one, bet on you dying. And then the chapter ended. And it's obvious that Rhysand was the only one that bet on her not dying.
I thought it was Lucian.
No, Lucian's not part of her court.
Oh,
Lucian's part of the spring court.
Oh.
So part of her under the mountain court.
Oh, I thought it was just everyone there. Okay.
Yeah, so and Rhysand is actually a high lord of the night court, but he is basically Amarantha's bitch. He is a member of the fucking under the mountain court. And she says, every single fairy in my court bet on you dying except for one, and then it ended. And it's obviously Rhysand.
Okay, I hear you.
What do you think?
It's a good pickup. Oh, when I was reading that, I just assumed it was Lucian because I thought, didn't Lucian come from her court?
No, he's from the Autumn Court.
I don't know. That just went over my head. But that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to find out in
very soon
that it's Lucian.
Yeah.
I mean, that it's recent.
Rhysand, yeah.
Okay. So we have to finish the book.
Yeah. I'm going to finish it tonight, bro.
But we have predictions, final predictions, and kind of lucky we only did 7 chapters then.
We did 15 chapters last week and spoke for the same amount of time.
Yeah.
We did 7 chapters the week just gone now, and we spoke for the same amount of time.
I'm loving your recap ability. I couldn't do it as good as you. I do remember.
I was editing the clip for last week's, and I was like, I did the talking. I felt bad.
Well, what about, I don't care. What about whenever you watch a TV show or anything like that, you and Star Wars or you and anything, the background like story, you really get invested into. It's like in your blood, which I really like. Yeah. And I normally ask you for questions, and you just see things and, I don't know, care a lot more than me. So it's good for you to recap, and I love popping in and out. I like it.
Yeah, my brain runs with shit.
It's really you, so I like it. I think it comes across as a good listen.
All right, if everyone doesn't mind me taking these over, then I don't mind doing it. But I do feel bad. I was like, fuck, I need to let Ollie talk next time.
I don't care. But predictions. How does it end? So she's obviously got 2 more trials left.
Okay, Feyre obviously stays alive because one thing that's been spoiled for us is that we know her character development gets good in the next book. So that's obvious.
Yeah. Okay. She's going to become a queen somehow.
Whoa, Ollie, what?
Yeah, she is. And I'm definitely not saying that because I read the comments and someone said something about her being her queen. And I was
yeah.
But I don't know how. And I don't know how she's going to win. Does she win Tamlin back? That's the question.
Okay.
You think there's going to be some fucking threesome going on?
No, I think there's a love triangle. Yeah. But also, you know what I actually do think?
But Rhysand's is Amarantha's bitch, and you think she's going to choose Feyre over her?
I think the only reason Rhysand is Amarantha's bitch is because he's scared and likes having freedom. Because he's one of the High Lords.
Wait, here you go.
His power stripped.
Here you go.
But I think she must be giving him a little bit more power.
Okay, so Freya's going to realize that Tamlin's love has been a lie and he's been doing it for the wrong reasons, but she's still going to want to save him because he's a good bloke. And then she's going to save him, beat the challengers, but then she's going to fall in love with Rhysand and they're going to betray Amarantha somehow, and she's going to become queen of something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. With the Night Court with
Rhysand.
High Lord. With High Lord Rhysand. Wow. Okay. For some reason, I think Tamlin dies.
You reckon?
No,
but
maybe not though.
I reckon they save him, and like he's just like a part of the story.
Yeah, I also do genuinely believe that he is going to become a side character.
Yeah, so do I. But does Amarantha die? Like, or does her power get stripped like she's stripped from the other High Lords?
Yeah, so she stripped the power, but part of the curse was she's not allowed to use it.
Why they told the riddle for some reason? Like that's going to play a part in something.
Oh, the riddle's going to click soon, and I can't think of it.
Neither. So the riddle, I don't know, and also the fact of like the wording of the challenges is going to play a part somehow. And I think, I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. I think the book is going to end with she's going to do one more challenge. She's going to be in her cell and have some sort of conversation with Rhysand. She's going to save Tamlin, but she's going to realize that he lied to her, basically using her to save himself. And I think that the book is going to end with us the book's going to end with a twist, but
That's what I'm thinking. Like, is there actually not going to be like a proper ending? Are we thinking there's going to be an ending and there's just not? Like, because there's so many more books. Is it just going to be like, she's got the last challenge to do, the third challenge?
It's a great point. Yeah, no, I actually don't know. Maybe we just need to fuck it and read it.
Yeah.
I still genuinely believe Rhysand and Feyre are going to get together.
You've sold me on it with all your pickups, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think what I said is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, wait. You said
she's going to realize that Tamlin's love wasn't real.
Yeah.
And then Rhysand's going to try and like fall in love with her.
Yeah.
And then those two are going to beat Amarantha and she's going to become the queen of something.
Okay. I love it. No, I like that.
Yeah.
Rhysand's going to give Feyre power.
Yeah. Do you reckon she's going to become a fairy?
That would be hectic.
Imagine she becomes a fairy.
I would love that.
Oh.
Tamlin's going to be jealous.
Mate, Tamlin's not going to even exist anymore. But I want Lucian to do something cool too in there. We didn't say anything
I
about
love Lucian. I'm not going to lie. I love Lucian.
Why has she not killed him? Like, why is he just floating around?
She gave Lucian... she still wants, like, Tamlin is refusing to be Amarantha's lover.
Yeah.
And one of the things to try and coax him into doing it was giving Lucian some of his power back, because Lucian used to have power. And he's a high fae. And she gave some of his power back. That's why he could heal Feyre a little bit from her broken nose. And still, I just think that she just doesn't see him as a threat at all. You know what I mean?
Maybe he plays a big part because no one sees him as a threat.
That would really... I would love that.
Imagine she fucks Lucian instead of Rhysand.
Honestly, that'd be kind of hectic.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty cool way. All right. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
we could talk for hours.
Okay, guys, that was a good episode. I'm not gonna. I had a good time.
Yeah, that was.
Had a great time,
mate. We've been having some fun with the lengths of these episodes.
Fuck yeah! I'm not gonna lie. There's something about. Wait, this is just such. I've been so happy lately with this. I love doing this.
Yeah.
You know what time it is though. Time to call one of you wonderful baddies. Sign off the episode. This week we will be calling Madison.
Yeah, we've been trying.
Yeah, we have some lore with Madison.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it on the phone with her. Hopefully she answers.
Yeah, hopefully.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Hello.
Madison, is that you?
Hi. Yes.
Oh, Madison, it's Jake and Oddie, but I think you already know that.
I do.
Let's
you know
go.
what? I've been like fighting. I'm like, this needs to happen so bad.
Yes.
I've been so annoyed all like the past couple of weeks trying to organize this bloody thing. You guys, last week you guys caught me on the bloody toilet, and the week before I'm at work. So I'm like, this is just not working.
So 2 weeks ago we called Madison and she was at work and she was at uni and she couldn't answer. And then last week we called her and she texted us back saying, "No, I was on the loo. Like you just called me on the loo."
Literally.
But, okay.
And I'm at work now, so I'm lucky I'm not in meetings and stuff. I work in child protection, so my day is really busy.
Oh damn! Okay, we'll keep it quick. Thank you for answering.
No, that's all right.
We would like you to sign off the episode for us, Madison.
Oh my god, can I give some advice?
Yes, please.
So let me think. I've been thinking about this for ages, and I've decided my advice is going to be: what you aren't changing, you're choosing.
Ooh,
I like that.
I do like that too. That's a great perspective.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been, like, the past couple of weeks, I've been thinking about it heaps. I'm like, this is actually changing my perspective so much on things.
Well, let's go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madison.
Thanks for picking up.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm so glad I finally got to do it. I've literally been stressed, and I'm like, I have to be available for these bloody phone calls.
And we don't help by just like recording whatever we want.
Yeah, I know. And I've been waiting around as well. When I saw you message me, I was like, shit, I need to make sure that like I'm not doing anything. I'm like, been waiting. So I'm happy we got it done.
Oh, well, thanks, Abe's. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You guys too.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh. Yeah, that was nice. So yeah, that was the law, guys. We've called her a few weeks in a row and just been struggling. But
it was worth the chase.
Yeah, we got her in the end. So don't forget to sign up to sign off an episode as well.
We love you.
See ya. Stay bad.